Alrighty, recording. So hi you guys and welcome to my channel. I'm back with a new video and I'm worried about this one. Not just because of this thumbnail that I didn't even want to put on the screen, but this title, it says a mysterious fighter who has been devoured by inner demons. This is the video you guys want me to watch. I'm not gonna ramble or anything. We're gonna go straight into this video. Literally, so let's go.
World champion has established a remarkable record of 26 wins, no losses, with all 26 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the undefeated WBC lightweight champion
Venezuela,
Edwin Dinamita
Valero. Dinamita.
In the history of boxing, there are many dramatic stories in which ordinary people, overcoming incredible difficulties, became world champions and the idols of millions. There are also reverse situations when money and popularity cause the fighters to engage in crazy and self-destructive behavior. But Edwin Valero's story is unlike any of them. During his boxing career, he fought only 27 times and won each fight ahead of schedule, while finishing the first 18 fights in the first round, setting a world record at the time. He was predicted to have a great future, fame, and world titles.
What happened?
But it all ended in a real tragedy. In this video, we will take a look at the career of Edwin Valero.
From Venezuela, I'm guessing, with the flag.
Edwin was born in 1981 in Venezuela and grew up under very difficult conditions. So at the age of 9, he had already left school and worked with his mother to help support his brothers and sisters. In total, he served 14 prison terms for robbery and similar misconduct. Edwin started boxing at the age of 12, and the young boy was immediately noticed. He became fully committed to training, wanting to learn the subtleties of his new hobby.
The techniques of this youngster, I can see his ability. I can see the power. I can see the killer instinct that he possessed.
As he grew older, he had a bright amateur career, where the young Valero earned a good record of 86 wins with 57 knockouts and only 6 defeats. He was one of many young fighters, but such a large number of early victories was not common among the larger field of amateurs. He was given the nickname Dynamite. There was no doubt that Edwin Valero was going to be successful in the professional world. But in 2001, he suffered a serious accident that marked the beginning of his downfall. Valero received a serious head injury as the result of a motorcycle accident. Doctors advised Valero to retire from boxing, as any subsequent blows to his head could be dangerous. But Edwin, after being treated for about 10 months, assured everyone that he was fine and decided to continue boxing. The hot-blooded Valero, also known as the Liquidator, was eager to prove himself in the professional ring and saw no obstacles despite his injury. On July 9, 2002, Edwin Valero entered his first professional fight, finishing it in the first round. He repeated this exactly 18 times, setting a new world record. 18 wins with 18 knockouts in the first round. Edwin's impressive achievement could not go unnoticed. He fought in the real underground, Venezuela, Panama, Japan, the most vicious places of professional boxing. Edwin's impressive achievements did not go unnoticed. In 2004, Edwin joined Oscar de la Hoya's new promotion company, Golden Boy Promotions. The contract with the Venezuelan was signed, but difficulties arose during a medical examination in order to obtain his boxing license in the United States. Due to his head injury, he was banned from performing in the U.S.
Wow.
It would seem that everything ended before it began. Valero was still able to find a good option and signed a contract with Taiken Promotions in Japan. Naturally, in Japan, Panama, and other countries, his new managers were not especially worried about his injury, since he brought them good money. After a couple of battles, he rose to his first championship fight against Vicente Mosquera. Mosquera was a good fighter, and the fight took place in his homeland. Imagine what it's like to be an outsider fighting in the center of Panama with a local champion. This style of fight is the most difficult in the career of any boxer. In the very first round, Valero knocked down his opponent twice.
Es caída oficial. Le están contando. Pero de que Valero pega lo acaba de demostrar. No debe dejarse dar esas andanadas. El loco es mejor que camine el ring.
I just don't want him to get hurt a single time. Por subir la guardia y esperar el ataque. Chico.
Bien lo queda. Loco. Ahora que tiene las piernas aguadas es el retador. ¡Qué pelea, amigos! Sintió el golpe Valero. Está sentido Valero. Lo quiere medir Valero. Bien la derecha y la izquierda y cayó Mosquera. Si presiona en este momento, debe buscar distancia al loco. Ha equivocado por completo su plan de pelea el panameño.
Sí.
Con la izquierda lo conectó fuerte. Sentido loco Mosquera.
Fuerte.
Valero todavía. El loco equivocándose en recortar distancia se llevó un... Loco bien con la derecha y también la izquierda.
He got this, right? He got this.
Valero retirando por la boca de
worried. I don't know where I'm worried.
No es lo que Valero. Vuelve a la derecha, volada por el ojo a la cabeza una vez más. Se baja otra vez, pero Valero pega muy fuerte.
There was no tactically elegant boxing. The boxers stood opposite each other and unambiguously exchanged blows. By the third round, the Venezuelan had also been knocked down. The spectators rejoiced. Cups and other garbage flew into the ring. The crowd exploded. Edwin looked shocked, but while the announcer reassured the fans, he managed to collect himself.
Décimo asalto, señores. Bien, Valero con la izquierda y la derecha. Se tambalea Mosquera. Son manos.
By the 10th round, he had found the strength to stop the champion. Thus, he became the WBA world champion in his weight class.
Pararon la pelea. Se acabó. Nuevo campeón. Ganó Valero. Noche triste para el boxeo panameño.
Valero's career was taking off, and he had to defend his title 3 times. Even at this early stage, rumors of drunken brawls by the boxing champion and outbursts of rage outside the ring were reported. In 2007, it was reported that Edwin attacked his own mother and sister. It was said that simply he had a hot temper, and soon it was forgotten. Valero was known and loved in his home country. Venezuelan President Hugo Chavez was his friend, and there were many photos on the news showing Edwin and the politician together. Around this time, the Venezuelan fighter obtained his famous tattoo, bearing the likeness of the Venezuelan president on his chest. Chavez became his personal patron.
Wasn't he in the media a lot, the president?
Life went on, but Valero did not lose touch with America and his dream to return there one day. Dynamite was often asked to be the sparring partner of other famous fighters. It was thanks to his wild performances in training camps and his overwhelming domination of great champions during these sparring sessions that Edwin became famous in America.
That something bad is gonna
Everyone
happen.
who watched Valero was struck by his aggression, his animal hatred, and the dynamite in his gloves. Specialists who monitored fresh fighters direct from training camps could not believe their eyes. Many compared him to Pacquiao and Shane Mosley. The guy moved brilliantly in the ring, equally dominating and working defense. But most importantly, he had a really heavy blow, while being a fairly sophisticated boxer. Edwin took part in the scandal that appeared before the battle between Oscar de la Hoya and Manny Pacquiao. According to the rumors, during their sparring session, he beat up the Golden Boy so badly that he was asked to leave the hall. You may remember how Oscar looked that night and how the match ended. Interestingly, both Morales and De La Hoya invited Valero to spar with them before their fights with Manny Pacquiao. Apparently, Edwin could perfectly imitate the Filipino style like no other. Even Mikey Garcia, one of the most promising fighters of our time, sparred with Edwin Valero.
Hey, so you sparred with Edwin Valero?
Lots of times when I was younger, when I was like 16, 17, 18. The power was just unbelievable. No matter where it hit you, even if you were blocking it, just feel the fucking power. And he never really took it light on anybody. He was gonna knock you out.
He was sparring?
He he knocked 27 out in sparring.
27 knockouts.
Literally do or die.
Mikey, who's the toughest guy you ever sparred? What sparring session do you think was the most epic?
Edwin Valero.
Why?
He hit the hardest, man. Hardest puncher ever.
This man was so sure of himself. His power was so natural.
I was 9 years old.
In his mind, he thought that he could go out there and just by throwing the first few shots, he would destroy the opponent. And he was right.
Yeah. Power.
You can see the improvement. You can see the talent. You can see his boxing ability. Whenever he knocked out an opponent, he was always thinking.
Right.
He would always go in and execute in time and change his speed and fake and jab and change the combinations and made it change power in mid-air like a Michael Jordan. He had that ability. Mm-hmm. So that's basically what we tried to teach this youngster. And we were doing very well until the bad news from the commission that Valero could not fight anymore.
Valero's return to the United States was simply a matter of time and business acumen. The old cunning fox, the godfather of modern boxing, Bob Arum, took up his case. But disturbing news continued to come. Edwin was caught with drugs, driving while drunk, and fighting outside of the ring, and his whole family was afraid of him. His wife's family was also terrified, her uncle later said. Legends even say that he got away with murder. But when your friends are the president of your country and one of the most cunning promoters of our time, how many problems can you have? In early 2009, the contract was signed. Edwin Valero officially returned to American TV, and the issue with his injury was abruptly settled.
I don't know.
Edwin Valero got into a new weight category, and there he waited for a duel over the vacant WBC championship belt. His rival was a fairly strong Mexican, Antonio Pitalua, with a record of 47-3, with 41 victories obtained ahead of schedule. Pitalua has not lost ahead of schedule since 1995. The larger American public saw for the first time this new fighter with his crazy look and wild blows.
Vamos.
Pitalua was on the ropes 3 times in the second round.
Non-stop.
And he bounces up. I don't think he is. A long way to go in this round. Pitalua in retreat. About 7 unanswered.
No breaks for him.
Valero became the 2-time world champion in his weight category. Edwin's fame grew, not only in the narrow circles of boxing specialists, but also in the larger audience that began to learn about him. Increasingly, Bob Arum mentioned his new fighter, and the press discussed his dream battle against Manny Pacquiao. Valero himself wanted this fight. Towards the end of 2009, the champion attacked his mother and sister again. In addition, rumors began to circulate that the champion was regularly beating his own wife. Jennifer was silent, as was his family. Again, everything was forgotten. The Venezuela was given a slap on the wrist. Edwin's eyes seemed to burn more and more with each passing year, and each fight was a spectacle to behold. Indeed, there was something wild in his eyes. Eyes don't lie. It is said that each of his battles broke down into a duel of views, and this is not surprising. Dynamite held another title defense, after which he met a young and very promising boxer, Antonio DiMarco. As with his first title fight, Valero went to the homeland of his opponent. But this time he was already the champion. It was a real old school battle, with dirty blows and flying mouth guards.
At the very beginning, he's a converted right-hand puncher.
You don't want to get beaten by a guy like that. You don't want to get beaten at all.
There's his recent fights in that same time frame.
I don't sit well with you.
That's where DeMarco doesn't want to be against the ropes, and he motors off it. DeMarco's people telling us
enough that they want to keep this fight in the center of the ring. There's a left hand.
And he's doing it in spots here tonight.
Valero with both hands down. Valero saying that he caught an elbow. Now he's got a gash over his right head.
That didn't come from a punch. I guarantee you that.
Whoa!
Even an accidental foul results in a point deduction from the uninjured fighter. So a point was
now what the champion Edwin Valero is made of. And he comes out facing a mouthpiece now gone.
I got a bad feeling about this. I don't know.
DeMarco wants to fight his urge of being a pro.
Here's where the elbow of Antonio DeMarco, the left elbow, will come around and hit the forehead. The right hand was there, and there comes the elbow. There's no question. Very, very well.
Valero,
Great opposition. Was he a great knockout puncher?
he told me during our meeting that his right hand is to show the American public that he's a future superstar in this weight class. And double left hook by Valero.
Into one of those straight lefts like he did.
Valero.
They're both going at it back and forth.
Tonight with that step back after he delivers knee. Left hand. Here's another one. Now Valero starting to pick apart the 24-year-old DeMarco. DeMarco landing a right. Punches in combination from different areas.
He is showing all those
Eighth
nuances.
round.
Maybe.
They've been going at it like full speed since the start. Like no end.
17 seconds to go.
Come on, they gotta take him off.
DeMarco, he's getting wild.
And there was talk in DeMarco's corner that if he didn't get busier, they were going to stop the fight. Nice straight left hand by DeMarco, but it's one and done when he...
Between rounds, DeMarco refused to continue the fight. The elbow strike he received, the final shots of their confrontation, and the insane look of the champion's glee will forever remain in his memory. Valero won 27 fights, all of them by knockout, an ideal record for what seemed like an ideal boxer. But everything changed in an instant. After one fight where Dynamite showed excellent skills and a clear growth of his understanding of technical and boxing knowledge, talks once again resumed about the fight with Pacquiao. Valero really wanted to fight with Pacquiao, but the boxer's dream was not destined to come true. A month after his last fight, his past head injury, coupled with his constant use of drugs, did the trick.
Yeah.
Former lightweight boxing champion Edwin Valero has been arrested for allegedly killing his wife. The 28-year-old is a household name in Venezuela. And police have said he was arrested after they found the body of his wife in a hotel where the couple was staying. Police say Valero left the hotel room at about dawn Sunday and allegedly told security he had killed the woman. Police say she had 3 stab wounds on her body.
Oh my God.
At 5:30 in the morning, Valero walked barefoot to the front desk of his hotel and calmly announced that he had killed his wife. She was found stabbed to death. He showed no resistance at the time of his arrest. Since Valero was allegedly drunk and under the influence of drugs, there was a risk of suicide. The police took away his shoes and jacket, but they left him with a pair of sweatpants, which became his method of choice for hanging. He was found in his cell on the early morning of April 19th, 2010. He was just 28 years old. Only after the tragedy did Valero's acquaintances begin to talk about his problems with drugs and alcohol. He has extreme jealousy over his wife, whom he beat repeatedly. Bob Arum described him as completely unstable and said that he was not normal. But all these statements and revelations made no difference. The worst had already happened. Edwin Valero, a boxer of incredible talent who could have been the next Roberto Duran, instead ended up in a grave dug by his own internal demons.
The mother who didn't get the chance to raise her child. Oof. Oh my God, you guys. Horrible. Oof. What a sad story. I can't imagine. I'm 29 and they were 28 and 27. Like, and then people are coming out and speaking about it when it's over. When it came out before, you know, they said no one said anything. And he is the breadwinner, so they're probably depending on him financially and everything. And they don't want to... It took their lives to do something. Yeah, it's difficult. Sheesh, I did not expect this. Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna just end it here. I don't got anything to say. I cannot end this one like usual. R.I.P. to him.